Hi everybody! This is Ava once again coming to you this time from my room, still at my house. And this week we're going to be talking about connecting through community. Last week we talked about connecting through service, which was where we talked about using our spiritual gifts and finding out which ways that we can serve that works best for us. So this week we're going to be talking about connecting, which is a very kind of a hot topic right now because of COVID. We live in a very strange, dangerous world right now, and it can feel like now is not a good time for connecting, and in some ways it's not a time for connecting in the ways that we're used to, and that's okay. The world changes, and part of being people who live in a world that changes is being able to adapt and being able to be flexible. So the things that I want to talk about this week are: how do we find community in the midst of isolation? How do we take advantage of the opportunities that are given to us? And what is the best way for us to connect in quarantine or in our isolation? I could talk about a lot of times I haven't been able to see my friends in person, and I'm sure a lot of you have so many stories of times when you've had to isolate, quarantine. I've been there. I've quarantined several times through contact tracing, and there's no way to get around how awful it is and how just devastating it is that is something that we have to do. We have to be away from each other. But I do want to talk about a time when I was able to find community pre-pandemic, pre-everything, and that is whenever I was finding community through truth groups at the McElroy's house. So I was very lucky. I have two incredible truth group leaders that I'm sure some of you all know and love, Kevin and Sharon McElroy. And what I loved about going to truth group is that I was able to go there and just put out on the table everything that I had been dealing with that week. And we were all given space to share our highs and lows of the week, and given time to really connect with one another and connect with the leaders of that group. And it just felt like a time of just relaxing, refreshing, and kind of just healing from everything that had happened to us that week. And it was also a time where we just got to joke around, to just share a meal with each other, and just connect through lighthearted conversation. But it was also a time when I really got to open my heart to them and really just, spill the details of whatever was going on in my life. And it almost felt therapeutic in that way, and I really loved that. And it definitely helped me grow closer to God and grow in my faith. Just being around people who really cared about me and cared about God and were able to just really help me through times that were maybe challenging or were difficult to get through alone. Because we're not meant to go through the world alone. We're meant to go through it with each other and in community. And I understand that it's really difficult to find community in some situations, like the situation that we're in right now. But even if we weren't in this situation right now, there are still times when it would be difficult to find community. And I've definitely been there. It's really hard when you're in a big group of people and you just need to find someone to talk to, but you're maybe too scared to approach someone, or you feel like you're intruding on them. I always feel like I'm annoying people sometimes, and it's definitely hard for me. My mother constantly has to tell me to call or text people whenever I was in quarantine or just whenever I'm bored and alone. She's always like, Ava, just call someone, just text someone. And I'm always like, no, because I'm very scared that they're going to think that I am bothering them and that they are not going to want to talk to me, because when people don't make the first move and talk to me, I feel like I cannot talk to them. Like, they are out of range for me. I cannot talk to them. So, but part of being able to find community and part of being able to grow your faith through community is going out of your comfort zone and is talking to people, even if that's something you're afraid of, because I definitely am sometimes. And not all the time, but you can all have moments of fear, and it's part of growing through that and reaching out to that can kind of make that fear lessen, and you realize that we all feel that way. And think about if someone reached out to you and called or texted you out of the blue, you most likely would not be bothered by them. And it's just realizing that really brings you into community with so many people. We're meant to be in community with one another, whatever that means for you and the current situation we're in. I know that it's difficult to meet up with people in person, and sometimes that may not be a possibility, but we all, if you're watching this video, you have access to the internet and you have access to technology and Wi-Fi, and it's time that we utilize the resources that we have to make connections with each other through the ways that are possible to us. Whether you're able to sit with people at a table and talk to them, or you have to call and FaceTime them, you're still talking to them. And it's important that to our relationship with God, that we connect with people and that we share in our faith. That is something that is sometimes overlooked, but I feel like it's an important part of being a disciple and really being able to listen to people and being able to share your experiences. We're not meant to be alone. We are meant to live in community with one another, and that is how God designed us. Even though this pandemic has been really hard on all of us, I encourage you all to look at the ways that you can connect with people and strengthen your relationship with God through that.